You've already worked with the text box control a few times. It's one of the most common controls in ASP.NET. The text box control provides the easiest way to allow users of your site to input text. First, open the My Project sample file from your Sample Files folder. And open controlstest.aspx in Design View. Next, add a text box control to the page. Set its ID property to TextBoxTest. You now have a text box with the default properties. We're now going to make the text box bigger. To do this, set the width property to 300 pixels and set the height property to 75 pixels. View the page in your browser and try entering some text into the text box. As you can see, although the text box has lots of room, the text all stays on the top line. Close the browser now. And we are now going to make the text box work with multiple lines. To do this, find the Text Mode property and set it to multi-line. You'll also notice the Password mode. Password mode works in exactly the same way as single line mode, but the text entered by the user is masked by asterisks. Password mode is useful when you want your users to be able to enter text without other people seeing what they enter, the obvious example being a password. View the page in your browser and try typing some text again. This time, the text has been spread across multiple lines. Close your browser. As well as setting the width of a text box in pixels, you can also set it using columns. A column represents a single letter. Clear the width property of the text box. And set the columns property to 50. It's up to you how you prefer to specify the width of a text box. We're now going to use the TextChanged event of the text box control. Add a TextChanged event handler to the text box. You learned how to do this in Lesson 3.2. Put the following code in the new event handler. Response.write textboxtest.text. View the page in your browser and type in some text. Note that nothing happens, as the TextChanged event hasn't been fired. This is because the page hasn't been posted back, so the server doesn't know that the text has been changed. Close your browser and return to controlstest.aspx in Design View. Now add a button control to the page and set its ID property to Button Submit. Now view the page in your browser. Type some text into the text box and click the button. This time, the page posts back. The server sees that the text has been changed, so the text changed event fires, and your C# code adds the text to the top of the response. Click the button again now without changing the text. The text hasn't changed since last time, so the text changed event doesn't fire when the page posts back this time. Close your browser. Note that when a text box control has its auto postback property set to true, it will submit the form as soon as the user clicks away from the text after editing it. This property is rarely used for text box controls. We are now going to set the maximum length of the text box. To do this, set its max length property to 10. View the page in your browser now and type some text into the text box. As you can see, the max length property has had no effect. The user can still enter as much text as they like. Close your browser and set the text mode property back to single line. View the page in your browser again, and once again type some text into the text box. This time, the text has been limited correctly. Unfortunately, the max length property does not work with multi-line text boxes. Close your browser and remove the controls and code. Don't forget to remove the textbox_test text changed event handler from the code behind file. You've now completed Lesson 4.4. Use text boxes.